Firstly, there is no right. There is no right. There is no wrong. So you may hear me. You may hear me. You may not. It doesn't matter. There is no right. There is no wrong. You may be able to do something I asked you to do. You may not. It doesn't matter. So all you want to do is allow yourself to surrender into the process. Whitman says, it's a quote, be curious, comma, not judgmental, which includes judging yourself, of course, of others, but includes judging yourself. So you may notice that you're very relaxed. And a minute later, you're thinking, hey, what's for dinner? Then you're relaxed. Then, hey, it's what's for dinner. It's okay. Hypnotherapy is just a heightened state of awareness. So we're going to do something now. Usually I do this for much longer period of time, but we don't have a lot of time. So this is going to be one of your go-tos, and you can use it whenever you want, just to find your calm, just to stop the chatter in your mind, like a bottle of water shaking and you see all this water moving around. You just want to stop it and let it be calm, right? Okay, so go ahead and close your eyes. And I'm going to count from 1 to 10 and 10 back down to 1. And on each and every count, you may notice that you feel more calm and relaxed and calm. Perhaps you're even taking in a deep letting go breath. Just close your eyes. It's been a long day. A long day. Depends what time zone you're in. And I'm going to count from 1 to 10 and 10 back down to 1. And you may notice that on each and every count that you feel more calm and relaxed and calm, letting go and releasing and letting go. Starting from 1, you can feel the room around you, 2, the surface beneath you, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, going back down, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Letting go and releasing and letting go. Sinking deeply, calmly and soundly into the surface beneath you. Maybe taking in another deep letting go breath, allowing yourself, giving yourself permission to surrender into the experience. Now, what I'd like you to do is to visualize, picture, or pretend that there's a beautiful light hovering over your head. There's nothing to see, there's nothing to do. Just relax. See what you see, hear what you hear, notice what you notice. And allow that light. I wonder where it's coming from. The heavens above, the sun, I don't know. But allow that light to hover over your head, reminding you that sometimes silence is golden. And it's nice to have that silence. It's nice to know that the light comes from a higher realm of consciousness and that it's reminding you it is there. The sun will rise and the sun will set each and every day. It's there. So just allow the light to calm yourself. Feel its presence. Allow the light to hover over your forehead and over your eyes. While your eyes are closed, look down. There's nothing to see. There's nothing to do. Allow that beautiful golden light to hover over your face. Your jaw relaxes, your teeth separate. The more your jaw relaxes, the more your teeth separates. The more your teeth separate, the more your jaw relaxes. Isn't that a nice thing? You may even notice during the day how you think to yourself, oh, I need to separate my teeth a little bit, maybe move my jaw around. Allow that beautiful golden light to hover over your mouth when you choose, reminding you that sometimes silence is golden. Because when you're silent, you can hear the authentic self, that light, the part that lives in the light that says, ah, be still and just breathe. Just take a minute, let it go. Just let it go. Sometimes it's nice to just let it go. The art of the still is something you probably want to learn, and you can do that now. Your higher self knows, again, who lives in light. Feeling very calm and relaxed and relaxed and calm, letting go and releasing, releasing and letting go, sinking deeply, calmly and soundly into the surface beneath. Allow the light to travel over your mouth and down through your throat, maybe feeling the need to swallow. If so, that's okay. And allow it to hover over your shoulders. This is where we humans tend to hold on to upset. It's right, it's wrong, judgment for ourselves and others. We just hold on to a lot of stuff, past. Sometimes we take our past and project it into the future, make it our here and now. You can just let all that go. It's like blocks of cement on your shoulders. Just let it go. Let it go into the chair and onto the floor, releasing and letting go and releasing into the chair and onto the floor, releasing and letting go and releasing into the chair and onto the floor, releasing and letting go and releasing, noticing now that you are more calm and relaxed and calm. Letting go and releasing and letting go. Everything is fine. It's all okay. Ooh, it's a nice feeling to just let go, isn't it? Allow the beautiful golden light to travel down through your arms and out through your fingertips, maybe noticing that one hand is heavier than the other, and that's okay. They kind of feel like a wet noodle, just letting them go. Allowing the light to travel throughout your back and over your heart. And this is where you know what you know, what you know, what you know. You are worthy and deserving, and you belong. I'll say it again. You are worthy and deserving, and you belong. And it is now time to allow yourself to maybe put your hand over your heart and take in another deep letting go breath and know that you're safe and secure and safe. And it is okay to take care of yourself. It is okay to take a deep breath. It is okay to just be. Like that. It's a nice feeling, isn't it? And it's a fact. You're worthy and deserving by just being born. And now it's time to allow all that peace and that inner knowing, the light, to just travel throughout your entire body, your mind, your spirit, your body, everything about you, your entire being. And embrace that. And notice how your heart softens. Upset and trauma can harden the heart or soften the heart. And now you can place your hand over your heart and take in a deep letting go breath. And allow yourself to soften and walk in the shoes of peace. It's a nice feeling, isn't it? Allow the light to travel down through your legs, your thighs, your knees, your shins, and allow it to puddle around your feet, lighting the path before you, knowing that you are on the right path. You have been. But you see, now you want to expand. You want to expand your inner knowing, your light. You're walking in the light. Trust me, if you can't see it, I guarantee you it's there. Just look down. Remember the sun, it'll rise and it'll set each and every day, showing you the way. Just being and letting go, all good things come. Now, you may notice that every time you listen to this recording, that you feel more calm and relaxed and calm, letting go and releasing and letting go. It's all okay. Just letting it go. So I'm going to count from 0 to 5. And when I get to 5, your eyes be wide awake. You remember everything I've said. Starting from 0, you can feel the room around you. 1, the surface beneath you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes wide awake.
Thank you. So you can all slowly start to bring your attention back into the screen. And feel free to share in the chat just anything that you feel right now, anything that you notice. Maybe there's a yearning for more, like you just started to really get in there and it's like, I don't want to wake up. I don't want to come back. Just acknowledge what's happening for you right now and put that into the space. Nice. You see relaxed, less anxious, calm, groundedness.
Yeah, I love
And keep
this. Anxiety, stress is a useless thought and emotion. So now you know that you can actually go to that place because it's our catastrophizing that makes us upset, right? So now you know, just taking in a deep letting go breath, you can go back to where you just were. It takes practice, but you can do it.
Yeah, I'm actually loving that this is a midday break.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Contrast, something different.
You know, the Dalai Lama says the busier you are, the more you take time to meditate. And it sounds like a crazy thing. It sounds crazy. Oh, Hala, I know I'm speaking to the right person. But it really is true when you actually really say, okay, hold up. You have your, eating lunch or whatever you're doing, and you say, okay, wait a minute, I need a good 10 minutes just to stop. You could listen to this recording. It's amazing what happens. You're more productive.
Exactly. There's just so much more of a presence, and every action you're taking is leading to a result. We're not just like on a treadmill the same way. You are taking action that's really inspired from somewhere deeper within you. And keep in mind, everybody, so this is just like a tiny taste of what a real personalized hypnosis session is like. So one, this is incredibly general. We're just doing a very generalized anxiety relief, calming hypnosis. So many of you have never worked with Rochelle. So you haven't even developed that level of trust, that openness, the connection of what it feels like to be in her presence. And then also she's not dedicating the session to specifically what your challenges are. So I see someone's asking how a hypnosis session is broken up. Rochelle, do you want to give a little breakdown on what that looks like when they walk into a session, what's actually happening?
Well, the first thing we like to do is to say hello and get to know you, because nobody can help you unless they know what the problem is and how does your mind work, because we're not cookie cutters here at Joymind. So we need to know, how does your mind take in information? So you're going to tell us a story, and we're going to be listening to the story and looking for root issues. And we're also going to be listening to how you take in information. Are you an analytical? Are you creative? Are you in the middle? Are you an introvert, an extrovert? Because all this, it makes a difference on how we hypnotize you. There is a difference. And then after we figure out who you are and what's going on, then we hypnotize you. And it's really simple. You just close your eyes like you did just now, whether, doesn't matter where you are in the world. When you close your eyes, you're closing your eyes and you're in where we take you. And then after we do that, we send you the recording, and you're going to continue to listen to it between sessions. And everyone does things differently. They do things differently. But here's what I know. It's all about trust in the person you're working with. If you both have a good relationship and you feel comfortable and safe, you will be hypnotized. And some people, let me tell you, think that they're supposed to be like zombies, pass out. Most likely that's not going to happen, because we're all very highly intelligent people. We're humans. If you're a somnambulist, it might happen. That's possible, but we don't see a lot of those people. Uh, you're going to be thinking about something, and then you're going to be completely relaxed. But the subconscious mind never sleeps. It's a sponge with a filing cabinet. So I guarantee you, if you're like me, analytical, thinking, what are they doing? What modality are they using? What's happening here? I guarantee you're still being hypnotized. But we have to go off by the story in the beginning, so we know how to tailor it to you and what are your needs. Carl Rogers says that we all have the answers within ourselves. All we have to do is listen. So if you know, great, tell us. If not, trust me, we'll find out what it is. Any questions?
Thank you. Yeah, so if you work with Rochelle, you'll have that one-on-one time with her, and then she'll transition to hypnosis, utilizing specifically what's going on in your brain. We have a ton of other hypnotherapists. So on your consultation, that's where you're going to be discussing, okay, what is your style? How does your brain function? What specific goal do you have? And then you'll get paired with somebody. I see somebody's asking the relationship between me and Rochelle. So Rochelle does not normally do this. The only way to get access to her is to be a client of hers. So this is a very rare moment that we get to have her interact with us and give us this offering. My role is to support you all. So it's scary to make that jump from being in the midst of a trauma state, maybe in survival mode, and then taking that leap to get help. That journey, I will say, is not like an easy yes. For all of you who are here right now, you've taken a really big step for yourself. There's a lot of fear that comes up on the brink of transformation. And so my position is really to help you alleviate some of those nervousness and feel confident in the steps that you're taking. And then if you do feel like hypnosis is right for you and you are ready to begin the healing process, then you'd be working with someone like Rochelle or one of our other specialists on the team. So otherwise, you won't really interact with them.
Yeah, and that, you hit on something about the fear. The subconscious mind runs your life, which is why you can drive your car. You can use your fork and knife and do all the things you do. It runs your life. What we adults become what we learned as children. I'm a trauma specialist. So we play that out in the world. And what happens is people are afraid to get help. It's called homeostasis, because you do what you think has been working for you. So like anxiety, we're talking about anxiety, Hilay? Yeah. Anxiety is trying to protect you, right? Fear of any kind, let's say, is trying to protect you. And it likes the subconscious likes the knowns, which is my other the shoe's going to drop. I'm walking on eggshells. So, oh, no, no, no. I can't be relaxed. I can't move forward without fear, because something bad will happen. That is called homeostasis. It is what the subconscious mind learned, which is why you can drive, read, and write, and walk and run, right? So it's scary to say, oh, wait a minute. I don't see how this could be right, but I'm telling you, we all have to have fear, but not to the extent that you may be feeling it. We can reprogram, creating new neural pathways through the subconscious mind, and by talking, so you don't have to experience all these things that are disturbing your peace. So there are a lot of people that are afraid to take action. There's all kinds of excuses. It's called homeostasis. The subconscious wants you to stay where you're at. And that's what you don't want to do. But I understand why it can be difficult, but that's why you're speaking to your whoever you're working with, and it takes time to build that trust and the subconscious mind to listen, so you don't have to be so afraid, and then you're going to start experiencing transformation. I'm a survivor of trauma, big time trauma, and I can tell you that things can get better. Absolutely. Even I see here, Hilay, can I say something about the breakup?
Yeah, I see somebody's asked about getting over somebody. So let's
Yeah,
touch on
we
that.
learn. Yeah, we learn that it's not, if someone, I, I get it. If somebody leaves you, for me, it was like a death. It was pretty serious. But we all want to be loved. We're humans. Why would we not want to be loved? And we put our faith into the situation. We want you know, the the knight in shining armor, he or she, whatever that is, right? So someone leaves us and we're devastated. And there's so many reasons why we would be. We've learned it. I call it Shakespearean love. They're going to come and they're going to go. My husband, Dr. Clock, who is one of the partners here at Joymind, he says, Rochelle, I'm not going to be here forever. And I used to get so mad at him because I'm a sufferer from abandonment. And I said, stop saying that. It's just you're triggering me. And he goes, good. I'm like, oh, well, thank you. We do this to each other. We're crazy. And he says, but Rochelle, someday I'm going to die. Just never thought of that. Because why would I think someone's going to die? Someone's going to leave, right? That's what I learned. Not everyone leaves. If they do, you're going to survive. Nobody gets to define your peace. And somebody is going to leave. They might die on you. We don't know. But it's hard at the subconscious level to understand this breakup stuff because it's our longing to be loved. It's our longing to be loved. And sadly, things happen, but it doesn't mean you're not going to find someone else. Trust me. I can tell you. I used to say that I'm never going to find anyone else. It's all my fault. Not true. But most likely, what you're doing is you're repeating patterns, what you've learned, and that's making your situation worse, right? And this is a different modality than Reiki and cranial work and all of these things. It's a different modality. Everything works. Whatever works for you, you should do. But this is going in. I'm reading the chats here, and it's reframing your neural pathways so you learn to think differently because at the end of the day, I've done this for a long time. At the end of the day, you become what you learned. And until you change that, most likely you will continue. Well, yes, until you change that, you will play out what you've learned. And that's why it's created these patterns. And the only way to break a pattern is to break a pattern. Does that make sense? It's a very big
Yeah.
topic. I could speak to you for 5 hours on it. So it's hard for me to narrow it all down. I'm doing the best I can.
Yeah, breakups are actually one of the most common themes that we see.
Yeah.
If you guys were able to see what I see on the other end of these Instagram
Mm-hmm.
chats, that's like
Mm-hmm.
one of the most common requests. Like, can I help get over somebody? Someone cheated on me. I'm going through a divorce. It quite literally creates this feeling of death, like Rochelle mentioned, in your system. When you lose this person, your survival instincts are going into full effect. We lean on somebody, we rely on them, and then suddenly they're not there anymore. We have to rely on ourselves. We have to keep our own self alive. And that can create a very, very intense effect in your nervous system. So the calming effect of hypnotherapy helps, but with clinical hypnotherapy, we're really, really rewiring your brain when you're in a calm state. That's literally what's happening in hypnosis. Because you're calm, you're relaxed, you're open, your brain thinking, the overthinking thoughts, you suddenly start overthinking that things are going really well. That's the overthinking that is totally possible in this
And you're
process.
healing the trauma and the beliefs around what got you here in the first place, right? So what I usually do, well, not usually, I always do, is it's really important to, I'll say, if someone has been a victim, I do believe children are victims. I think parent people can too. I'm not saying victim mentality. I think we do have people that are victims, right? Well, what I personally believe is that we want to have compassion for somebody's ignorance and pray for peace. It doesn't mean if something happened to you that it's acceptable and you don't have to keep diving into it. But when you learn to remember the judgment quote, when you learn to do that kind of work, which is at a very, very high level of thinking, then all of a sudden they're over here and you are not what you were taught, and then you can move forward, right? It's not even, you can talk about forgiveness and stuff all you want. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about having compassion for somebody's ignorance. They didn't know. Even if you think they knew, if they really, really knew, they wouldn't be doing it. They have their own trauma, which is why they did it. It doesn't make it right. And you have compassion for them, and you have compassion for yourself, and you let go of the right and the wrong, then you're going to be able to move more quickly through it. Hilay?
So I see somebody also mentioned something about virtual. Rochelle has done thousands of sessions virtually at this point. Do you want to just touch on, does it work virtually?
It's the same thing. I've had an office most of my life, and now we're in virtual. I did both actually. Now we're only virtual, which most therapists are these days, because it doesn't matter. You can see me, I can see you. You can see where I am. You can pretty much see who I am by looking at what you're looking at, and I can see you. And trust me, I'm seeing a few things here that I'm actually quite interested in, which is telling me a lot about your personality. And when it's time to hypnotize you, you're going to close your eyes. So if you were in my chair, you're still going to close your eyes. But at the end of the session, you're going to have to get out quickly. I used to not like this part at all because I have another client waiting. So I can't let you relax and be calm. You got to get out. Then you got to get through the traffic, especially where I live in LA. It's a problem. So now you get to stay home and we're talking. And then when I hypnotize you or somebody from Joymind hypnotizes you, you can just relax and you can feel calm. You're in the same place. And here's the biggest thing. And this I hope all of you can experience. And if you haven't experienced, you will now. Have you ever been gone for the day and you come home and you're like, if you haven't, you will now. The subconscious mind, we need to relax you. That's half the battle. So once we get you into a relaxed state, you can even feel more relaxed, which can take some time. It depends on your level of trust, right? But when you're home, your subconscious mind is already doing it. So it's easier for us to get you into that state. And when you're done, I always tell everybody, go lay down and have a cup of tea. Go relax and just let it settle for a minute. If you want to journal your experience, that'd be really great. It creates an ideomotor response that works through your hand all the way up your arm into your subconscious. You're probably not going to do that if you're in someone's office because you need to get out. So I like it to happen while everybody's in that energy field. Hopefully that answers your question. So it actually works better than being in an office, and how I can tell you personally how much work and effort we have put into our office. You've seen it, Hilay. And all of that's really, really great. But now you're looking at it and it's really coming into closing your eyes and what can you see and how can we help you see what needs to be seen and create the new neural pathways, right? I'm hoping that was long-winded, but it answered the question.
Yeah, I hope that cleared it up for anybody who's uncertain. At the end of the day, everything that it really comes down to your intention. That's the biggest thing that we talk about in these consultations is, are you ready? Do you want this? Because that's the only thing necessary for this to work.
Right.
For the subconscious mind to say yes and receive this, your conscious mind has to be like, yes, I want change. Even though I'm scared, and this is probably freaking me out a little bit, I want it.
Right. And I don't know how I'm going to get it. And I'm like how I said, I'm scared, but you don't have to worry about how it's going to happen. That's our job. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Especially people that suffer from anxiety. That's really hard because, oh, you can't give somebody, people with anxiety tend to control because it keeps them safe, right? So, oh, I don't want to give my control up to somebody. But we're all clinical hypnotherapists and very, very skilled. I've been doing this for a long time. This is my life. It's my life. I love it. I deal with stuff that it's not pretty. But what a gift to be able to help somebody else. That's kind of a nice thing to do.
Yeah, I'm always amazed when I look at Rochelle's calendar. There's like 8 back-to-back sessions with no break in between. I'm like, how do you have the capacity? But she's in a flow, and when you're
I
doing
like
what
it.
you're supposed to be doing,
Yeah,
it's different.
I like it. It's fun.
Most people are just putting questions in the chat, so feel free to drop it in there. I see somebody's brought up phobias of driving on highways and bridges. Phobias, very common for hypnotherapy. If you want
It
to expand
is.
on that, Rochelle?
Hypnotherapy is really great for phobias because usually there's a reason why it happened. So at a subconscious level, you learn to be afraid. Why would you not? Right? But hypnotherapy is so good for fear and phobia. It's so good because we go in and change at the subconscious level how you think. And then you're not going to be afraid anymore. It's brilliant. But I will add a little piece here about driving. I always say this to people. It's really cool because when you're driving, it's like your little apartment, right? I'm in LA. We all have cars. You have your little apartment, you have your air conditioning, you have your music, you have your coffee or your water, and then you got the trunk because you might need a sweater or a jacket or something. I don't know. If you're a parent, you probably need your stroller and blankets. You're driving around in your little apartment, and cars have the airbags. Oh, they're very safe. Put that into your subconscious. But hypnotherapy is excellent for fears and phobias because for you to overcome it's going to be hard. But through hypnotherapy, it's I would be shocked if it didn't happen. Let's just put it that way. That's an easy one, believe it or not. I don't want to minimize your experience, but that's not hard to help. What else do we
Yeah, that's
have?
like the gateway into all the other
Yeah.
issues to work on is phobias, because there's probably something deeper behind the phobia. And
Narcissistic.
yeah, let's touch on narcissistic relationships, attachment styles, like how hypnotherapy can help unwind some of that.
I'm
And you're
just
thinking of
reading
Abraham
quickly.
Hicks. Yeah,
Cater
Rochelle definitely has
to
an Abraham Hicks
emotion.
vibe.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. You're right.
Mhm.
Listen, when it comes to narcissist, East and West thoughts on that. I'm going to go into the spiritual context. Obviously, it's time for you to learn how to stand on your own 2 feet and say no. Because if there's usually something back where you've attracted it, I'm not saying it's your fault because it's not. Don't worry about typos. Don't care. You see the way I write. Um, it's hard to be with a narcissist because they're really good at making you feel you're not good enough. And then the longer you stay, you become so weak, you can't leave. Narcissistic relationships can be very difficult to be with. They're even full-blown narcissists or have narcissistic traits. Traits, yeah, you can kind of modify those. Full-blown narcissistic people that suffer from narcissism, that can be of a bit of a problem. So it's a lesson for you to learn how to be um, on your own. And that's scary because, see, I'm reading this. Your hair falling out. I've lost over 15 pounds. I'm just so done with this. So somewhere, I don't know you, I don't know your story, but it sounds like in childhood, something happened and you haven't learned to feel worthy and deserving and that you belong, which isn't true. And now you have met relationships or mirrors that reflect back to you what you need to heal within yourself. And now you're being met with a huge task to walk away. But again, it's really hard to do that if you didn't learn how to do it in the first place. And these people get into your head. They can gaslight you. They can love bomb you. Oh, there's all kinds of words we can use, and it's hard. So what hypnotherapy is going to do is we're going to reframe your mind. Here we go again. You're going to have compassion for that person's ignorance, and you're going to pray for peace for that person and yourself, and you're going to walk away because this person's never going to validate you or accept you, and you don't need their approval. Got to get out. Now, I'm just saying that loosely because I don't know your story, but when I hear, that your hair's falling out, you lost 15 pounds, that's a big trigger for me. There's something more going on that I don't know about. And I'm grateful that you're forward. It's my privilege to answer your question. Um, why are you afraid of sunflowers? I don't know. I'd have to talk to you, but obviously they remind you of something. I mean, I could take that apart right now for you, but I don't know if we really have time. But if you really think, sunflowers are like that. When the kids draw a sun and they have a happy face, sunflowers are happy and they're big and they're bold. They signify the time of year, what's happening. The sun is shining. Your psyche might be afraid of that because you don't feel that way at all. Right? I don't know. I don't know why is sunflowers coming in? I've had to ask you a lot of questions. How many sessions are recommended for the subconscious reprogramming? Depends on the level of trauma, right? We usually say basic 6 sessions. Fear of driving, probably 6. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I really only specialize in trauma. It's what I do. So I'm 12. Sometimes people need more than that. It just depends on, without going into detail, what happened. It depends on how you take in information. But what I can tell you is that it's a lot faster than traditional hypnotherapy because we're getting into the subconscious mind. Hand up, Sunny.
Hello,
Yeah.
can you hear me?
Hi. I
Nice.
can. I love your name.
Thank you.
You're
Oh,
welcome.
thank you. Great to be here and thank you for the session. I was just typing actually that how much your compassion comes through. So thank you for
Oh,
that.
thank you. I love your wall, by the way, behind you. I've been admiring it.
Oh, I'm an artist, so I have art
See?
around me.
See the creative mind, right? Which can still have some analytical to it.
Plenty, trust me.
Good.
But I'm the one that just asked about how many sessions between 6 and 12, or I heard you say between 6 and 12, but how far apart are your sessions spaced? Is that like one a week for 6 weeks, or is there homework? Like maybe I would be recommended to do the recording at night on my own, or could you just speak more to that?
So it'd be once a week. Got to inundate the subconscious. I personally believe that you listen to the recording every day. I have some people that are so traumatized, they might listen to it twice a day. That's up to them. We talk about it.
Okay.
Homework. Oh, I love homework. Oh, but I also like kinesthetic, like a walking meditation. That's homework. Because every time you walk, you're going to quiet your mind and you're going to walk in the here and now and feel your feet on the floor. And that's on the sidewalk. What are you doing? That's all you're going to do. And you're going to dedicate your practice to somebody or you, right? I would often give that kind of homework because if you're doing that, you can't live in the past, project it into the future and have it become your here and now, right? And then there's
Right.
going to be, I can do all kinds of things, right? So I love homework. And there, it's funny. Some people love it, some people don't. So I have to cater my homework kind of carefully on what I know they'll do because not everybody's going to sit and go through a book. And I don't mind going through the book if they want to, but I kind of like the kinesthetic. I like it to be in every part of your day. We don't want to give you too much at one time because then you're going to run for your life. But you said the word homework, so that tells me something. You're an artist, so I can tell you right off the bat, if you haven't done this, what you might want to do is whatever is disturbing your peace, is it fear? Is it anger? Is it anxiety? What do they have? What does that one thing have to say? There's many things, but one thing, what does it have to say? And then let it paint, not you. Let it paint and use art therapy to express yourself.
Yeah.
And if you're working with me, I don't think anyone really does this kind of work, but if you were working with me, I want to see the painting. And we're going to treat that as a dream. And then I'm going to hypnotize you around that. We're going to gestalt it too. A little different than traditional hypnotherapy, which is what my people, the people that work under me who are wonderful. I'm so grateful that they've agreed to help out with Joymind. But we just all do things a little differently. But when I hear artists, that makes me excited. It's a good
Me
thing.
too.
Everyone,
Thank you
hey,
so
you're
much.
welcome. Everybody, whatever anyone is doing and who you are is absolutely fantastic.
Thank you,
Wonderful.
Sunny.
Thanks for answering my question. Thanks.
It's a pleasure. Nice to meet you.
So yeah, it's very common to definitely start off with 6. We don't recommend typically going below that, just because for really to receive a full sense of completion from hypnotherapy, that's where the research has shown you're going to be feeling like there's no regression. 12, obviously, for deeper layers of trauma, and really depending on how much therapy you've done in the past, 3 months is a really good chunk of time where you're going to see a lifelong transformation, that 90-day process. And then if after that, you're like, I still want some more support. I like who I've connected with. You don't really want to be telling your story to every therapist, every couple of years, finding someone else. We have memberships, so you can just do one
Ah,
session a month, sessions
memberships.
a month.
Oh, can I talk
Yeah.
about memberships for a second?
Yeah.
I
So
love
that's
memberships.
where after you've been a client, then you can join in on the membership as a way of continuing. And Rochelle can touch on that.
That's what I was going to say. Because what happens is life. The first four noble truths is Buddhism is life is suffering. But when you learn to change your perception around it, then you just don't suffer as much. You will, but not like you did before. It's just different, and you can often just get rid of it. And some of it doesn't happen anymore, right? 6 sessions of hypnotherapy is equal to 600 in psychotherapy, right? But the membership's really cool because you do all your work, but then maybe you see someone once a month or twice a month. I don't know. It depends on the person. But there's something comes up and you want to stay on top of the mind, right? We live in this world, so it's not always so easy. You want to stay on top of things. So it's just kind of nice to have an accountability partner that you can go to and can just kind of recap because they know you, what you've been working on, and how it's kind of playing out. Whatever new thing you're experiencing, your reaction could possibly be coming from that. So let's nail it. So eventually, psyche is a big thing in your world. It's not a quick fix, right? So we get rid of the bulk of it, but then the membership continues so you can just refine your skills. My husband's father, Dr. Glock, his father used to say, with the sharp tools, the job is halfway done. So we have to keep our tools sharp, even if you're walking and minding your own business and somebody cuts you off. How upset are you and why? Well, let's fix that because then you're going to find peace. And my big thing is peace is priceless. I've learned it. Trust me, I'm 60. I know these things. I've learned a lot. But we have to do it ourselves, really. We can get help, but you want to be really willing and open to experience this stuff and to stay on top of it because then once you really find it, you're just going to be so grateful. There's nothing like it, let me tell you. The sun shines brighter than it did the day before.
Thank you. So we're going to close out. There's one last question around cost. So first thing is just for signing up for this hypnosis,
Can I
you
say one thing real
automatically
quick, Hilay? Yes,
yeah, go ahead.
hypnotherapy aligns with shadow work. Absolutely.
Yes,
Sorry.
this is shadow work. This is the work by hypnotherapy. You are actually facing some of these darker parts of yourself. So thanks for touching on that. But yeah, as far as cost goes, you guys are going to get a promotion that you have access to until tomorrow, 24 hours, but we can probably extend it till end of day tomorrow maximum. If you need that extra space to move things around or workout scheduling, you can have your consultation within the next day if you want to move forward with this process. But the cost varies for everybody. Obviously, to work with Rochelle is a little bit different than working with any of the other specialists because she is one of our founders and her work is a lot deeper. But everybody else is incredible. So you're going to get great results. They're all trained through the same program. Rochelle and Dr. Glock personally choose each individual on our team to come on board and make sure that they align with Joymind and the way that we like to do clinical hypnotherapy. So,
and I'm really booked. So if someone does want to work with me, I just need you to be patient to get in. It's just the way it is. Right?
You have like maybe one slot left right now. So I don't think we have a lot, but yeah, we can get you on the list to find some time down the line.
Okay.
But of course, if you guys are doing a bigger package, you're going to save more. We have payment plans available. Regardless, this is an investment. It is scary. And for many of you, it's probably the first time that you've ever made this kind of big investment in yourself. So just keep in mind that that's going to be a little bit nerve-wracking. There's going to be fear and limiting beliefs, self-worth that comes up. A huge thing to take note is that when you make this decision, you are raising your own value. You're saying that I'm worthy of healing. I'm worthy of this work. I'm worthy of investing this much money in myself. So just keep in mind the relationship that you have to this choice affects who you are and who you become, even without doing the work. Just this decision is the work. It's saying that you're worthy of that. If you want to expand on that a little bit, Rochelle, because it is, the transformation happens before you even show up to day one. you're
Yeah, it's
receiving.
very subtle. Yeah, the minute you decide to do something, there's a opening, the light opens and it starts to happen. And I'm just looking at this saying that he doesn't want to go deeper. It's not about him, it's about you. When you shift, he'll shift. And if he doesn't, then there's some decisions to be made, right? It's not about him, it's about you. It's never about anybody. But when you shift, they shift. But it has to start with you. And it's so amazing, this hypnotherapy stuff, because it's very subtle. It's very subtle. People don't realize they're doing it until they talk to someone, one of us, and tell the story, and we say, "Oh, really?" And we remind you, or you someday wake up and say, "Oh, wow, I'm not letting somebody trample over me anymore. And wow, I didn't even realize that I wasn't anxious today because you were so going in the flow, you just didn't notice it." It's very gradual and very soft. It's not like this, hit me in the head. We don't do that kind of work. Not going to happen. It's a really nice feeling, and it's really nice when you get your life back. It's quite interesting, actually. Especially when you're anxious all the time or you're miserable. Why would anyone want to live like that? But I'm going to say it's going to take a little time. If you think you're going to talk to us one time and your whole life will change overnight, I mean, it's happened, but I probably wouldn't bank on that. I mean, you can't go to the gym and lose weight and look like you want to look one time. It's going to take some time, but it just happens much more quickly than other things. But it's going to take some time. I'm telling you that right now. We don't tell people, come and we've got this magic wand. It's for television. These don't work. But the magic wand you hold in your own hand, you get to decide if you want to change or not. And the minute you do that, the opening is there, and you're going to notice that it happens. That I can tell you. And it takes longer for some people than others. But oh, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. So you have to be patient with yourself and love the places that hurt and not make it right or wrong. It just is. Your heart is softened by the trauma. It isn't hardened. And that's when you're going to see a difference. So if you've decided that you want to start working with someone, it just happened. The light went on. And if you trust it, you will find your way. Hard to work. So it's hard to work on me. That's because you're controlling. Yeah, I have full control. But so you're one of the people that might take a little bit longer. But what I know is if you really want the help, and I know you do, or you wouldn't be sitting here in this meeting, eventually you will be okay. But you're somebody that might take a little bit longer to help because we have to earn your trust. And it's simple, we will or we won't. That's up to you. But it might take you a little more time, and that's okay. So stuff's gone on for me to read something like this, right? And we don't want you to analyze it, which we would want you to analyze it, but our job is to get into the subconscious mind, so we do it for you. But if you're going to be resistant, that's okay. Just take you a little bit longer until you feel safe enough where you don't have to be this way, and you can let your shoulders drop, and then you can take in that new information and free yourself from your suffering. And what the cats says, don't know that one, but that's okay.
Okay,
Oh, I
thank
see
you.
the cat. Very cute. I've been noticing. Very sweet.
Kitty that's very involved. Oh, a couple actually.
Love
Well, I
it.
think
Love
I
it.
love that. When you shift, they shift. That is so powerful. And actually, the most accurate depiction of this work is that when you have that internal shift, your friendships start to look differently, your relationships respond to you differently, your boss thinks of you differently, everybody around you
Everybody.
suddenly acts different. And so that's the
You're
coolest, like magical part of hypnotherapy is it doesn't make sense because what's going on, your reality shifting, your filter is shifting. So
your outer reality is a reflection of your inner reality. Think about that. On that note, I'm going to jump because I have a client that's going to be waiting in 2 seconds. But think about that.
thank you so, so much, Rochelle,
Thanks,
for
Hilay.
bringing us
Thanks, Hilay.
to this space and everybody else for joining us. We really are so grateful
Thank
to
you,
have you.
everyone. Thank you. My privilege. My privilege. Speak to you soon. Ciao.
And everybody, you will get the recording to this session. So I encourage you to listen to it whenever you can. Follow up with anybody been in contact with, or just send me a message on Instagram. I can help walk you through the next steps. Or if you have any questions that didn't get answered today. But thank you.